Hi, and welcome to the Thriving and Surviving podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Markson, and I'm a mum, a wife, an entrepreneur, a coach, and most importantly, I'm someone that loves to make waves, break stigmas, and challenge beliefs. Think of this podcast as a wine and cheese night with your besties, sharing your deepest and darkest thoughts and struggles, but also learning a thing or two. So whether you're thriving or just surviving, this podcast is here to enlighten you, heighten you, and most certainly brighten you. So let's dive right in, and I'm so glad you're here.
Welcome to season 4 of the Thriving and Surviving podcast. We're bringing you with us at the moment on a little road trip.
It still makes me laugh that we named it Thriving and Surviving, but
and yet we're yet to be thriving, and we're still somehow
for the
surviving.
most part, it's just surviving.
You're not wrong. We did actually record a different episode, but the sound was not there at all. So we're doing second recording whilst we're driving up to the sunny coast to have a romantic night away.
Okay, so my relationship ended, and it was just before we were supposed to go on a romantic weekend away. So, my girl's got my back, and she's
Naturally, her loss is my gain. So.
naturally she's got her boyfriend back, so we're good.
Yeah, look,
That's
not
what
mad
the
about
last
it.
podcast was about. It was about lesbian relationships and navigating the difference. And remember, I thought you were going to get me in trouble, and I was like,
And now it doesn't matter.
yeah. And I was like, my relationship is too new for us
Now
to
we
risk
can-
it for the biscuit.
Now we can spill the beans.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's unpack it. What
'Cause
do you think the biggest difference was?
Well, it turned out that I was so everyone warned me. Everyone warned me. They're like, you think that? I was like, oh my God, women are so safe. I love the emotional connection you get. Everyone fucking warned me. They're like, when you get a heartbreak from a woman, it hits different. Okay, there were so many memes that came up on my TikTok about that exact same thing. Your first, women love women breakup will be your most brutal. And I'm actually, to be fair, it was not my most brutal breakup because my exes died.
I was going to say, she's still living.
She's still living. But I feel like the betrayal hits a lot deeper because when you share the female experience, you have this assumption. And to be
But then more
fair,
empathetic.
yeah. I'm a little bit more delulu in this space because my friendship circle is a reflection of the women in my life. The women in my life are also a reflection of me. And I have incredible friends. So I was a little bit naive in the sense where I thought most women had this level of empathy. I thought most women had this shared connection about the depth that they wanted to be seen. And I was very fucking wrong.
Yeah. Look, you're not the only one that is that. Sometimes I think we need these little life reminders that not everyone loves the same way we do and gives the same way we do and processes the same way we do.
I got warned. You don't
listen to anyone anyway. Let's be real.
I got warned. I was in a lesbian fuckboy relationship, and I basically just got a little bit fuckboyed, where they make you feel safe, and they're like, I got you, and you're like, I'm not okay, and you're kind of pulling me out of a situation I'm not okay with, and then they got you, and then they don't got you.
No.
They don't, and they run the moment things get hard. Actually, that's more avoidance versus anxious attachment style.
We were talking about that. What am I? Disorganized attachment.
We both are disorganized. So I cut and run when things get hard, but depending on the circumstance, if my trauma is triggered, I need connection.
I was going to read out the thing. I put it in ChatGPT earlier, and I was going to read it out, but we're recording on my phone. So the different things for disorganized attachment was struggle to set boundaries, want to cut and run when things get hard, very triggered by feeling rejected.
Yeah.
What else was there?
So the easiest way to explain disorganized attachment is to explain anxious attachment and then to explain avoidant attachment. And then you have a combination of the two.
Yeah.
So avoidant attachment is more where people need to regulate with space and they push away from conflict, they push away from closeness and connection because it feels overwhelming for them in a genuine, real way. And I feel like this is what's I rationally know this. Out of every single person who should be able to logically feel a little bit better about my circumstances, I rationally know that on a almost chemical level, people who are avoidant feel like they can't breathe if they're becoming emotionally overwhelmed.
Well, that's how I feel when we have fights.
Yeah. Like
The last fight Maddie and I had, I blocked her number because she wouldn't stop texting me, and I was like having panic attacks in the gym, and I was like, I need space. Like, I need a second to regulate. And it was like, bzz, 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 and I was like, this bitch. So I blocked her.
She
like a child.
She blocked me for 4 hours. She's supposed to be my ride or die.
I mean, it was only 4 hours. To be fair, I was also on my way to a public seminar where I was like trying to like be like, you can't roll in there looking like you're disheveled and unhinged and crying. So I was like, you have 30 minutes to pull your shit together, get through this. And I unblocked you and messaged you the second I walked out, to be fair. But
in our defenses, though, we have this we have this like blanket of security, almost like an old married couple, where even though we know we're fight, in the back of my mind, there is no version where we've ever had conflict where I don't know I'm not going to resolve it. Same with Laree, same with Caitlin.
You've literally in some of our fights before been like, this is it. And I'm thinking, bitch, no, it's not.
I say that because
you do not get to get rid of me that easily. Like, this is where I think that I just know, like, I would just stalk you until you forgave me.
I say that because I think I'm protective. So mine's an ego-based thing. I'm disorganized as well. Whenever I get disrespected by a partner, I suck at setting boundaries. There are so many times I should have left in relationships where I was disrespected, and I haven't. And it's part of my disorganized attachment is I used to be very much on the anxious. I am more towards the anxious side, but I become avoidant as a means to try and set boundaries, but I'm not good at it. So it comes out wrong where I just need to completely cut and run. So my toxic trait with my disorganization style is if someone disrespects me in a way that I'm like, this is not okay. Like, people you love don't do this. I will dump them, which I have done to almost every single partner.
See, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Maybe they'll change. Maybe they'll get better. Maybe if I try harder, I'll be enough and they'll love me enough to do better. That's my toxic trait.
I'm very like stern where I'm like, you disrespected me and that really hurt my feelings. But because deep down inside, there's like a little tiny girl who's like, I loved you and I just wanted to be loved and you really hurt my feelings, but I suck at setting boundaries. So I need to almost mask that version of myself and present this, you hurt my feelings, fuck you, we're done.
To be fair, I'm not that anymore. Since having the girls, I just won't tolerate stuff because I refuse for them to be tolerating stuff or to model a shitty relationship with them.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot, Tommy was my relationship for majority of my adult life.
Yeah.
And that was trickier because when you've got kids and you're married, you do go that like if there is a 1% chance that you can make it work and come good, you kind of want to take it. Like, it was different with the kids. Whereas once you realize that there's no chance, like,
I'm disorganized because I fight between two people, the person I want to be and my trauma. My trauma desperately wants people to show me that I'm worthy of love.
Oh, you are going to cry. This breakup is fresh. This is a fresh breakup. See, I know that I'm worthy of love. I know that I'm worthy of love. I know I am a great partner. I know I am a great friend. But I don't know. Like, I feel like it was almost a self-harm thing where, like, I kind of, this little part of me, I don't know, like when people would hurt me, instead of running from it, I would run to it.
No, my trauma is I have an insatiable need that if somebody hurts me in a deep way, I desperately hope that they can change. So that way, all of the energy that I poured into them, everything that I hoped they could be or would be, or everything that I thought they saw in me was justified. I needed my pain to be witnessed. I needed them to understand. I needed to know that I wasn't wrong in who they were, because I can't let go.
I definitely struggle with that at the moment when the person that
you chose to have
divorced was not the person that I married.
I can't even close to relate to that, but mine's more my parents, the people who are designed to love you by biological design, they still couldn't, and I just have this deep-seated fear that it's always going to be me.
Do you think that they didn't love you though? Or do you think that their version of love is just really fucked up?
I know that for sure with Darren. So, like, that's part of what I do with uni, where, like, pedophilia and child sexual abuse is, there's two different types. There's pedophilia and then there's predators. And even though they can both abuse children, they're not the same, psychologically speaking. And the way that we intervene with it is very different because there's different root causes behind whether or not it's actually a connection with children that solicits something emotional, whereas predators are more about power
imbalance.
Power, control, and sometimes a pain fetish, unfortunately. But I knew that, I know that the one that stings, Darren, I have lived with. My mother, Melissa, is the worst one. That's the one that stings the most.
Yeah, I can't really wrap my head around her as a mother myself, to be honest.
No, neither. And I think that's why I desperately, like, I have this, I'm a very intense person. I can be very, and it's like, I always say that I'm a lot, but I know that I'm a lot for average people. And everyone's like, no, you're not too much. And then they see how it unfolds and they're like, well, maybe there was some truth to that. I'm like, no shit.
And I suppose that's tricky for you though, because it's not like you try and hide that part of yourself. You actually warn people.
I do.
That you're a lot.
I'm very honest with who I am. I'm really proud of, like, and I think this is why I'm disorganized. Not why I'm disorganized. There's so many reasons why I'm disorganized, but it goes back to me fighting between two people, who I want to be and who I am. And the reason I get disorganized is habitually, I have the ability to switch off like I do at work. What I do for a living is completely compartmentalize and turn into this person that genuinely needs to dissociate from my own circumstances and act in a way that would represent mental health community, that would embody the criminal justice system, that would have a role of power or authority over people. And that's what I do for a living. So when I'm in an intimate relationship, I know that I deserve better. I know that some behavior shouldn't be tolerated. So I flip and I'm like, you're out, you're dumped, because that's the person I desperately want to be. Because the anxious version of me, when I realize that they've hurt me, my automatic reaction is pure pain. And I would rather feel that authority. See, I wish. I would rather
when someone hurts me, whether it's partner or friends, I mean, you've seen it. I flip. And I go, like, I shut down and I go cold and clinical and business-like. Like that fight we had in Dubai. I can't remember what the fuck it was even over. I think it was about a gym schedule.
It was.
Like,
I shit you not. It was about gym schedule.
And it was, Maddie was like bawling her eyes out, like talking where it's like the crying and the spitting. And I was like, whoa, this is a lot of emotions. And I just did the opposite. And I was like, I'm going to go. And then I was literally standing at the door and I was like, if I go, I know her well enough to know that I'm going to trigger her feeling abandoned. So I'm like, I won't go. I will stay and I will push through my avoidance, because that's when I get avoidant. Is like, I don't mind having conflict conversations, but like on my term when everyone's regulated. I struggle when everyone's like super emotional, because I'm not a super emotional person. And when someone else is, I kind of feel claustrophobic with all of the feelings in the room.
And to be fair, with my empathy, I work well with emotions. So like,
you probably see a cold-hearted bitch.
Like with last night, like when there's a lot of emotions in the room and you feel them spilling over in a person, I don't shy away from that. I'm almost drawn to it because I feel like
I can't breathe.
But that's the difference.
But even the other way, like I see lovey shit you say and I'm like, like I'm not.
So that's one of the things that I said to my
I wish I was more like that, to be fair, in a lovey way maybe. Like
I feel like for
that lovey-dovey
for the more anxious people in the room, there's pros and cons. I feel like the biggest pro and con for people who lean way more towards the anxious style of attachment, my con is that when things hurt, I feel them fucking deeply. Add deep trauma on top of it. When I met with an avoidant who shuts down, it is the most personal, intimate kind of pain. And I wish more than anything I could just disassociate in that moment.
I disassociate with them, but
so
I
much.
hurt alone.
Yeah.
I fall apart alone.
But
I just don't like showing other people that.
The benefit,
I feel like it makes me look vulnerable and weak.
The benefit of that is I love very deeply. But avoidance and anxious attachments.
I do once I'm in, but it just takes me. I'm a slow burn compared to Maddie. I need like a year to love somebody. Really, like that's a my pace kind of thing. Whereas she's like, oh my god, 3 weeks in, love you, and I'm like, I don't even know if I could like someone in 3 weeks, let alone love them.
I think that's the part where if you've got people who are too far on the other scale, it just can't work.
I do think people need to be somewhat matched in that space.
Because I feel like there's an element where I am who I am and it will automatically overload them. If they're on the opposite end of the scale.
Like us together, I feel like I would make you feel insecure
100%.
Because I don't express myself the same way you express yourself.
But we have a bit of a difference. We have like 5 years worth of understanding each other and a whole lot of credibility.
Yeah.
I feel like relationships are a lot of credibility, whereas like with my new relationship, there's not a lot of opportunities to show someone that you can really be there for them when it matters. Whereas in friendships, you've got all of this credibility that they will actually be there.
So not all friendships, though. To be fair.
That's true.
Not all friendships. Sometimes you can just like skate through for years and years and years, and then one thing pops up, and you don't actually know how to navigate shit.
Which is where it's empty. So many people that I talk to with their friendships have empty fucking friendships, and they wonder why.
And I can't do that at this age, to be honest. Like I want the whole thing. Or nothing at all.
But to be honest, and I feel like this is something that I had to accept. That is because we are never going to be one of those people that don't have things going on. I fucking wish we were. There are lots of people out there who just have these kind of, I don't want to diminish anybody's life experience, but sometimes people really are just kind of cruising through life. They don't have a lot of things that are happening. Yeah. There's not a lot of massive traumas. There's not a lot of complexity. There's not a lot of big goals that would make them feel scared or like.
No, some people are just happy sitting in that midline.
Yeah, which is where the midline friendships kind of work, because at the end of the day, they don't have to have that range of depth. True. Like if you were someone like, for example, but like.
Oh, actually, no, do you know what? I actually disagree. I feel like I have friendships of people that do just chill on the midline, but we still have depth to our friendship.
True.
But they're usually just low on maintenance.
True.
Friendships.
Yeah, true.
Depth is there, but that in frequency of intensity is less.
Yeah.
But the depth is there.
But I feel like if you've got a whole circle of people like that,
for me, it wouldn't be enough, because I feel like I am needy in my friendship.
No. A little codependent queen.
I do. Like my biggest fear is being isolated and completely alone. And it's not even because I don't enjoy my own company. I think I'm great. It's just I don't have credibility with myself in managing hard feelings alone and like this is
that's where you're disorganized.
Yeah,
as well.
so but this is what my psych said. Like I will build that credibility with myself as I gradually start doing it. But because I couldn't do it when I was a teenager, and then I've kind of just convinced myself that I can't. And so I've just avoided actually doing it. And instead, as the smallest bad thing happens, I'm immediately like, friend, let me vent, let me support me in my decision, validate the choice I'm going to make, because I don't feel confident enough to navigate this all by myself.
I'm very similar.
In case I do the wrong thing. I need someone else to tell me what I'm doing.
I also think I gaslighted myself. And you actually might have some relatability to this. I feel like over the years, I gaslighted myself in my ability to manage my own emotions, because in my brain...
I don't know, we both go deep end, and then it's like...
But in my brain, I've done all of that on my own. So even though I may have gone a big reaction, I still came out of it. And even though I had incredible friends supporting me through it, it's not like they actually had to pull me out. They never have.
I would.
Well, you wouldn't, but like when I was younger, when I was much worse, none of the girls actually pulled me out. That was all me. So I know I have credibility in that space to bounce back. I know that like for example, when Madi died, No one had to come to my house and make me shower.
To be fair, I was about to come to your house and make you shower. I just had the kids.
No one had to come and tell me to go to work. No one had to make sure that, like, you know, all the support things were very much like...
To be fair, though, if I didn't have the kids, I think someone would have had to come and shower me after Tommy.
Yeah,
like, I was honestly that I've never been that bad. And the only thing that made me pull my shit together was that I had to parent. I had little people that I had to feed and shower. So
I have some credibility with myself in that space.
See, I don't.
I do.
But I'm getting there. I feel like I am starting to now, which is really good. I have to override my thing where something bad will happen. I'll literally reach for my phone and be like, nope, you can get through this. You can sit in this uncomfortable feeling. It is okay. You can navigate it. And I do come out the other side and I'm like, that wasn't so bad.
Do you want to know the honest, sad truth behind it, though, that I told my psych? What? Sorry, psych. Nah, actually, yeah. I told her to share everything on social media. I don't want to. Do you know what, yeah. Do you know, I shit you not. Do you want to know the sad thing about me having to go through my shit alone? I'm fucking sad and I don't want to. I don't want to sit there and regulate my pain. And I was talking to Amanda about this. I have this insatiable need for people to validate my pain because I was so silenced for so fucking long. And it's a problem. I know it's something I got to work on, but there is a huge part of me that's fucking exhausted. I am exhausted from doing the work of people who couldn't fucking do the work before they had kids. I am exhausted for the shit that I've had to deal with coming into contact with people who just didn't do the right thing.
But have you seen that meme where it's like the people with problems don't go to therapy, their victims do?
Yes. And I'm fucking tired. I kid you not, I think maybe it was Kirby I was speaking to. I've been with a psychiatrist since I was like, it was the first time I had attempted, maybe like 19, 20.
Did you not kill yourself until trying to do something?
Well,
wow, why do I say that?
I'm alive.
Oh my God. I can't believe you waited so long.
I can't believe you waited so long. No, I was a self-harmer.
Yeah, okay.
Never had an actual attempt until I was older. But I have been with a psychiatrist since I can remember. Psychologists, CBTs, DBTs, different therapists, EMDR therapy, SSRIs, SNRIs, antidepressants, fucking ones that work on melatonin, you name it. THC, prescribed, trial, tested, didn't work.
Didn't work.
But I'm just fucking, when it comes to mental health and relationships, I'm fucking tired.
I feel like I'm exhausted. Swimming and I'm barely like, I feel like I've been swimming trying to get to the other side of the river and it's still so far away and I'm fatigued. Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel that. And do you know, I feel like the one thing I dislike about therapy is I'm like, it feels like it's made it worse.
So
for me to be the kind of mother that I want to be, I can't just be compartmentalized and detached and like, I've got to be in my feelings to be present for them, which means I have to work through my shit and I don't like it. I don't like that either.
I'm tired. So there's something in psychology called confirmation bias, and ironically, the more this applies to so many different areas of our life. But even when it comes to people who do a lot of CBT, a lot of therapy, the more insightful you are, the more unsure you can be. Because just like all these different psychological theories, where you've got expansions and there's information that could fit into almost every category. How many times have you tried to diagnose yourself online? And you fit, even if you look at the DSM-5, if you do have mental health issues, there's so many different crossovers. And it is overwhelming to think what you might be. And then you're also looking at a vulnerable cohort of people, so they don't really know where they sit. But when they start looking at different symptoms where they think that might be them, all of the information that we're processing in our environment becomes a confirmation bias because we are looking for it. Yeah. And it doesn't necessarily mean that that is the fact of our environment, but our brain can no longer change the hook that we've set to grapple with the information we're gaining. Yeah. It's super interesting, but it's fucking exhausting. And I shit you not, I would have been happier if I was less insightful.
Yeah, we're only talking about that the other day. Yeah. Where like maybe not being aware, not being as insightful, just sitting in like blissful ignorance, like living in actual delulu.
Yeah. And you know what else comes down to that?
Well,
taking accountability is hard. Like taking accountability for owning your own shit that spills over into pain and hurting
I
other
don't find
people
it that hard.
is hard. It is when you hurt people you love.
No,
I know.
but even then, like I actually enjoy. Wow, maybe this is the stuff. I don't know. For me, I enjoy reflecting back, picking out all of the bits that I can blame myself for, owning those bits, and being like, "Well, I contributed X, Y, Z." Like, cool, noted. Because then, for me, I feel like I can grow and do better.
But for the
it's like this learning exercise.
But the general population,
really?
I shit you not, psychological fact, taking accountability for your own actions is hard. Otherwise, you wouldn't have almost 500 million people in our criminal justice system right now. Because taking accountability for your actions means having insight, and most of the population does not have that. That's like an individuality.
Like I see, like when you call me out on shit, and I'll be like, huh.
Yeah.
Fair.
It's like
that's normally my reaction. Yeah, that's fair.
It's like, how many people do you know that do that?
Yeah, true.
Honestly, like
true. I don't think I get defensive really ever with a lot of shit.
I do. I very much know you do.
But I don't think I do. Do you think I get defensive?
You have, yeah.
Really, with what?
You've got trigger things. You've got certain things that you can and can't have conversations with.
Oh, there you go. Okay, go on. What? Give me some.
Oh.
Help me grow.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think of an example. There's
Is it Tommy?
No, I think sometimes time management. Don't hate me for this.
Oh, here
you
we
will
go.
purposely overload yourself, and then you will put all of the pressure of the overloaded timeline that you have created on other people.
Are they slowing down my timeline in this example?
The timeline you created.
Yeah, but are they slowing it?
No.
Is it an effective timeline in a perfect world?
They have been consistent with who they are as people.
Is this you justifying the fact that you're half an hour late for every activity?
Okay, so I just need you to see that was defensiveness in action. She asked me specifically for an example, and instead of reflecting, she went to attack my own time management.
Which is atrocious. No, I definitely overload myself. Sometimes I like the challenge, though, to be like, let's see if we can burn the candle at both ends.
So does it make sense when it comes to defensiveness? It depends on the topic.
I think it's more, so in that example, I feel like I make a timeline that I could achieve with no room for error. And I don't factor in human buffer. So then I have very low tolerance when I don't factor in buffers for other people and they blow out this timeline because I didn't factor that in initially. But also, like, weird calendar shit is definitely, like, my little OCD space. So, like, that is definitely something that when things change, I do struggle with that. I mean, I struggle with all change, but, like, that in particular.
But, yeah, when you have it, when you have, like, same with me. One of my things is when it comes to, like, I'm very defensive of my relationships. So, like, if I'm in them, if someone tries to tell me, like, this relationship is not for you, I'm like, how dare you?
Or if people say, I think you're having too much conflict.
Yeah, I will get defensive because in my brain, I'm like, I'm making this choice to be with this person. I need you to be on my side. Because
I think you might have even hung up on me.
It sounds like us. It sounds like us. Classic Madi.
I think, no, I mean, like, my brain, I think it was like can't believe you just said that.
You know what?
And then, like, well, look, I'm annoyed. I'm going to go. To be fair, you've never just, like, ended the call, but you're like, I'm going to go, goodbye. You are the weakest link.
Yeah. See that, but like, again, that's why I'm disorganized, because I can do both. It depends on do you know what it actually is? In myself, I've noticed this. I'm actually a very, I know, but it is also a main road, Amanda. I believe we're doing this while driving.
To be fair, I'm not driving.
This is much better lighting.
Yes, I've been like burned down, like a burned victim for half of this podcast with a light on the side of my face.
Good, that's what you get for not having acne. Oh my god, did you see that?
Yep. We've gotten the most wild. I've had the most wild text messages come through.
Well, we need to do another podcast on that. Maybe we'll do it when we're in the spa.
Yeah.
In
In
a romantic getaway. No, what was I fucking gonna? Oh, that's why I act the way that I act. When I'm really secure in myself, I'm very blunt with my boundaries. However, I'm a very insecure person in some aspects, but I flip. There are moments that you'll get me where I'm like, I'm doing really good. I'm working really hard. I'm killing life. I'm trying really hard. I'm better than I've ever been. I'm killing this. And you get the best version of me. But if I'm in an environment where I figure like my insecurities are triggered and I don't feel like I'm worth a lot, I just plummet, which means you usually get the worst, most insecure version of me.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like...
And that determines how I react. My reaction is based off how I'm feeling in myself, but how I'm feeling in myself is also influenced by my environment, which is most people. Nature versus nurture.
I'm sitting here trying to like picture a time where I felt shit about myself.
She's quite literally, I love this. This is like if you guys have ever watched Sex and the City, this is like one of my favorite things about Amanda, but she is like low-key a bit narcissist. I love it though. I get a bit jealous. I get jealous. I think it's a good thing, but I also had this good articulation today trying to explain to her that self-worth and self-esteem are different because she was a little bit confused between the attachment style where she's like, oh, but I have
very... self-worth was low self-worth was a part of disorganized attachment. And I was like, I know that ain't me.
Yeah, she's like, I'm the shit. But I'm like, that's not what that means.
Yeah, no, it was to do, and which is accurate, which is where not valuing yourself enough to set boundaries and to leave. And that was what my my psych actually said to me, like, oh no, you've got anxious attachment. And I was like, what do you mean? I do not get jealous in a relationship. I'm chill.
Yeah,
like,
that's what people get confused
I
about.
That. And she's like, no. She's like, if you didn't have anxious attachment, when people have treated you the way they have, you would have enough self-respect to just leave, and you don't. And that's where your anxious attachment comes out. And I was like, I feel attacked.
If you were truly avoidant, you would have cut and run. Don't do it, you dickwad.
Damn.
But if you were truly avoidant, you would have ghosted.
Yeah.
Instead of just begging them to be different.
Whereas I just stick around.
Yeah.
But
matching mental health issues. Oh, and
but I mean, all of my security literally comes down to I spend my entire day trying to be proud of the person that I am, the way that, and it's mainly the way I treat people, to be honest. Like, all of my self-worth, honestly, for me, stems from how proud I am of the way that I treat people.
If
strangers,
my self-worth,
people I care about, if yours hinged off that, you'd feel good too.
I'd fucking feel great.
So what do you hinge yours off that you don't?
So
Is this just messed up from your parents? Like,
yeah. So ironically, her self-worth is hinged on the way that she treats people. My self-worth is determinant on the way people treat me.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So
no, see, people treat me like shit, and I'm just like, well, I'm great. Like, you are going to regret not having me as a partner. You are not going to find better than me, because no one is going to love you the way that I loved you.
But imagine
that was actually in my vows.
Imagine if your two most formidable.
Oh, it makes sense why you're fucked up.
Yeah, I was like, your two most formidable relationships. Not only did you have to earn it, but it was also some weird dynamic of obligation and a very twisted, abusive push-pull.
I think, though, it's not like I had this, like, I felt super loved by mum and dad growing up, but for me, I think it's because I'm such a control freak. I feel like I can't control how people treat me, but I can control how I treat other people.
Yeah, I struggle with control.
Yeah, see, I need to control stuff. So for me, like, I can control how I talk to people, whether I forgive people, whether I believe in people, like all of those things. And that makes me really proud of the kind of person I am.
Yeah.
Like, I think people think that my confidence comes from my appearance. It honestly isn't. It's just I genuinely love who I am as a person.
You know what? I'm going to put a little bit of a toothpick, not a spanner, just a toothpick in that works, okay? Because at the end of the day, love you so much. If she had half the acne or half the shit that makes you feel a little bit more insecure in your environment, I think she'd be a little bit different. But no, she can't relate to that.
I can. I've been over 100 kilos.
When you were pregnant with two children.
After I was pregnant, I was 100 kilos. I've had loose skin. I've had stretch marks. I've had cellulite. I've had, to be fair, like when you think about it, I haven't had acne. I've had headgear, braces strapped to my, like, I've had glasses. Like, I still feel like I've had stuff. Just not acne.
hair, but mainly your sense of like
But
high
it just really isn't
self-esteem.
hinged to my appearance.
Your sense of high self-esteem was also established when you were in high school.
True, because I've never been bullied.
It's
we
not
talked
like-
about this. I've
yeah.
never been bullied for my appearance.
That's exactly what I was getting to.
Yeah.
I have. Anyone from fucking Rutherford High can tell you that all of you assholes, which still watch all my stories now, actually not all of you are assholes, but you'll fucking remember. You all used to call me a prawn, just rip off the head. Horse face, like, constantly about what I looked like. And
No.
I'm not even that ugly.
You're
I'm not the
ugly.
prettiest person in the world, but I'm not fucking that ugly either. Oh, thank you, babe.
And I think that's different, though. And I think that's when not all insecurities are rational.
Well,
but I think being bullied, like, it feels big to you.
Yeah.
So it's like, maybe even though I haven't, had the things, if there were things that I'd been bullied about my appearance, I maybe would have those insecurities.
I think,
and instead, I've got insecurities about other stuff. It's just not my appearance.
Psychologically speaking, if you work with any client in the world, it is genuinely a combination of nature versus nurture. Your environment has such a large impact on how you will be shaped as a person, which is why children are so important. It's also why when,
I'm really conscious that I'm a big part of the girls forming their inner voice and the way they think about themselves.
Yes.
So the language that I use, the things that I say to them, like I want their inner voice to be like mine. I want them to believe in themselves and for them to be their number one fan, to not tear themselves down. And I feel like that starts from the way that I speak to them and not criticizing them and encouraging them and
how
believing
you
in them.
describe them
to other people,
like calling children angels and devils is highly inappropriate.
Yeah, and
it is very inappropriate, especially if you've got kids with big personalities or high needs or different
and
needs,
that's where
or a
people
little bit
fall into those
neurospicy,
saying kids are naughty kids and describing them as that. They then start identifying as that. There's a lot to it, and look, not everyone has the same awareness, I suppose, in the way that they're parenting.
Or their parents influence them, which, as sucky as it is, if you do have, you can't change what happened. You have to take responsibility for their shit, and you've just got to move forward regardless.
Yeah.
Which is brutal, because as much as you want to sit there and force them to take accountability for it, they probably never will.
Nah. That was like a little mic drop there.
I know, but that's good timing, because timing-wise...
Oh, look, we're about to pull up at our accommodation.
I'm excited.
I don't even know what to label this episode as because we just rambled about a whole heap of stuff. But
attachment styles, breakups, trauma.
Yeah, look, all right.
Great. So every podcast we've ever done.
Thanks for tuning in for our drive to the sunny coast. We will probably do another episode about something when we're in the spa tonight.
I only cried once. Pretty impressed.
Proud of you.
Thanks.
All right. Till you next episode.
Bye.
Bye.